Shalom, I'm Apostle coming back at you with this truth, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem, Yahushua Bashem, Rakakwadash. And I'm going to entitle this video Doomsday, my take on the subject. There was a video I was watching that was put up by Apostle Orion Lob entitled Doomsday, which is a video that was in his description box leading you to the history, which is the history channel on YouTube, and the hashtag is Doomsday Nuclear War 5 Doomsday 10 Ways the World Will End, full episode, season 1, episode 5, history. And I didn't see the whole video, but I almost immediately clicked on the link in the description box, and it led me to the video. So I watched a little bit more than a minute, like a minute and 41 seconds in, and I paused it right there. And it's the image that you see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to watch the rest of it, and I'll probably maybe do another video. I should have watched the rest of it before I made this video, but what I noticed about this video, it has over 43,000 views, and this was put up January 29th, 2020, the year of prophecy. And that the date kind of caught my eye, because this is not an old video. This was just put up, you can say, about 6 days to a week ago. Now, why didn't they put this up 2 years ago, 5 years ago? Back in 2007. Why did they put it up 2020? Because I'm thinking that in their mind, people should start asking this question: what about Doomsday? Because the technology is here. There's a lot of tension in the air among these nations. Then you got Donald J. Trump, and he just was found not guilty of impeachment, however the way you term it. And I said that he wasn't going to be convicted of impeachment. I guess that's the word. And now that he's acquitted or found not guilty, now you have the mindset is on, we got to get him out of office. Well, if you couldn't get him out of office with the impeachment, and I said he's going to not be convicted of being impeached or impeachment, and he's going to be president again. And I believe that, because, and that's my belief. That's what I think. It's not a prophecy. Like if somebody else becomes president, the Democrat, don't say, well, Tahar, you said, you prophesied. And that's what you clowns do. That's what you demons do. Well, you said this and that. You prophesied this and that. And the third, I said, no. I said, I got to wait and see. I got to wait and see. But I believe it looks like he's going to be president again. And if he becomes president again, I believe that my assessment is that he's the guy that's going to get the War of Armageddon started, the World War III. And that feeling is in the air. What about World War III? What about Doomsday? What if a meteor hits us? What if there's a third world war? And this is all in the scriptures. And you men out there, and some of you sisters that been watching our videos and other Israelite videos, and you know that us here at Great Millstone, we focus on a lot of prophecy. Hey, 2020 is the year of prophecy. And all the scriptures, the scriptures just come to mind. scriptures just come to mind. You know, Isaiah 34, and I always quote that. Isaiah 13 chapter, Joel the 2nd chapter, Revelation the 20th chapter, pretty much all of Revelation. You know, you read each chapter of Revelation, it's like a scenario being played out over and over again, chapter after chapter. And then when you go to the book of Revelation, let's say we go to Revelation 18. You know, that'll link up with other books like Isaiah, Jeremiah. Like Jeremiah 49, Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51. So that scenario of destruction is played out over and over again and given to the various prophets. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let me go to Joel. Let's see how many scriptures we can get out of this. Let's go to Joel. Was that Joel 2? Joel 2 verse 1. By the way, Joel is a prophet of the Lord. As a matter of fact, let me do this. It says here in Joel 2 verse 1, it says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. And that's what we're doing. When we go out there on the highways and the byways, when we do the sit downs, we're blowing a trumpet to the elect, because the only ones that's going to receive this are the elect. And we are the trumpet blowers. The Most High gave us a job to tell the people that you have to wake up to the fact that you're Israel, and that this place is going to be destroyed, and that there's going to be a new kingdom. And any time before a major kingdom went down, the Most High sent his prophets. You know, when you read about the so-called Egyptian captivity and the various captivities you read about in the scriptures, which is also found in secular history, the Most High was always with his people and always set up a prophet. So it's no different today. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm. And what is the alarm? Wake up, get yourself right, pray to the Most High, you know, come back to the rock, which is Yahweh Shai, but which leads you to Yahweh the Father, and start keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and get ready for this destruction, because you want to be delivered. Anyway, it says, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Now, the Lord's holy mountain is a place, but it's a people before it's a place. So when we speak to the people, we're speaking to this holy mountain. And when you wake up to this, you gather in the spirit, knowing that you're Israelites. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh. Now, the day of the Lord, or the day Yahweh cometh, is the destruction. It's doomsday. For it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountain. A great people and a strong. Now, this great people and a strong is referring to the actual missiles. And this is also spoken of in Revelation, the 9th chapter, where it speaks about it speaks about the, matter of fact, let me go to it so I don't have to quote it. I want to actually read it verbatim. Revelation 9. Revelation 9, and let's go to the 14th verse, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. So things in the Middle East are being stirred up by those spirits. And the four angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour and for a day and for a month and for a year, to slay the third part of men. The third part of men represent Esau. He represents the wicked. You have the sons of men, the sons of the wicked, and the sons of the Most High. The sons of God, the sons of the power. So who's in the power seat? The third part of man, the sons of the wicked. Esau, the Edomites. And the number of the army. Now when the Most High says, when he's referred to as the Lord of hosts, that's talking about the Lord of armies. So one of his armies are these missiles. It says, and the number of the army of the horsemen, and the horsemen represents the missiles, were 200,000. 200,000 is 200 million, and I heard the number of them. So John, the Revelator, John the Apostle, looked up and saw these missiles cover the sky, and he wrote it down, and he heard the actual number. It says, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and what he saw was missiles, because it says that he's going to come down, that our Lord is going to come down in Revelation 19, that he's going to come on a white horse. Now we know he's not actually coming on a white horse. He's coming in a ship, but a horse represents power. Now there's some visions where you actually see actual beasts, or you see actual things and you can't explain what they are, so you write down what you think they are. Like when he saw Babylon, when he saw the great Hua that sitteth upon a scarlet-colored beast, he actually saw a woman. But that woman dressed in scarlet represented America. Then he saw America. When he saw the lake of fire, he actually saw America from, as they call it, a bird's eye view. So sometimes he saw actual person. You know, when he saw the woman sit on a beast, it was an actual woman sitting on a scarlet-colored beast. And that beast represent, as I've been saying, the EU and NATO. And then sometimes he saw actual missiles, and he described it the way he described it. It says, the 17th verse, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and then they sat on them having breastplates of fire and jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouth issued fire and smoke and brimstone. Now what he was describing was missiles. The head like lions, meaning warheads. It was not talking about the Chinese army. It's not talking about actual angels on horses. It's talking about missiles. By these three was the third part of man killed, which is Esau's system, Because you're going to have other nations, anybody that's left here in Babylon or the land of Edom, you're going to have Moabites, you're going to have Hamites, you're going to have Ishmaelites, you're going to have Jake, and you're going to have Edomites. Because Jake is going to die here too. It says, by these three was the third part of man killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone. That's talking about thermonuclear destruction, World War III, the War of Armageddon. With the war that will end all wars, which issued out of their mouths. And their mouths represent the front part of them, which is the warheads. You have a delivery system, which is the missile. And then you have the thing that does the destruction, which is the warhead, which you have, and the warhead you have a thing called multiple warheads. For their power is in their mouth, which are warheads, and in their tails, which is the delivery system. For their tails, which is the delivery system, were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. Now in Isaiah the 14th chapter, it referred to them as fiery flying serpents, because that's what they look like in the sky. '19 verse. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they hurt. And the rest which were not killed, because you have Edomites in different parts of Europe that's not going to be hit by the missiles. The main place is going to be that you're going to have certain places on the planet that's going to be hit, because this is going to be in the midst of the Third World War, the War of Armageddon. But America is going to be totally destroyed, annihilated, destroy the whole land, as Isaiah saw. But you're going to have certain parts of Europe and Russia that's going to be hit, but you're going to have survivors. And they're going to be the ones that's going to look from a far distance and say, oh, that great city for in 1 hour, such riches have come to naught. And this is going to happen. So, hey, I hope that, I'm looking forward to Donald J. Trump being president again, because he's a hothead. He's a hothead. And like I said before, I believe he's Nero or one of the Caesars. But if he was any Caesar, he would have to be Nero. It said, and the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands. And that's Esau. Esau do something, and just like his daddy Cain, he said, am I my brother's keeper? When the Lord asked him what happened to your brother, he said, am I my brother's keeper? Like he's none of my concern. And that's what Esau thinks of you. That they should not worship devils, because they're going to still be praying, running to the Roman Catholic Church, and whatever demon that they worship, they're going to run to them demons. And idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk, neither repented they of their murders. Because Esau ain't telling you sorry, we're sorry we took down an American Indians and natives, and we're sorry that we put you Negroes in slavery, and we're going to give you money. They don't want to hear that reparation bullshit. Real talk. So this man, this Edomite, he's going to be a devil to the end. And I like that. Inside joke. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, their witchcraft, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts. That's why the Most High is going to give us the power. So now let's go back to Joel 2 verse 2, and then I'll close on this. A day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and the strong. The great people and the strong are talking of referring to the ICBM missiles that we just read about in Revelation 9. There have not been ever the like. See, the Most High then created these missiles pursuant to Isaiah 54 verse 16. As a matter of fact, let's go to that right quick. And all this will happen, but one major prophecy is going to happen before this, and we keep us here in Great Millstone. We're the only ones that really push it. There's other camps out there that believe that the mark of the beast is a chip, but they don't push it. We're always pushing it. So this is not going to happen, the destruction, until the chipping takes place. Now, where did I say I was going to go? Oh, Isaiah. Isaiah 54. Isaiah 54 verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. The instrument that's going to be brought forth from his work, or for his work, are these missiles. And I have created the wasted to destroy. And what is the wasted to destroy? The missiles. And he gave the technology to Esau. Just like the web, the internet, the Wi-Fi, that all, this technology, this all came from the Most High. And the Most High gave this to Esau to speed things up, pursuant to Daniel, the 12th chapter. It says, Joel 2 verse 2, a great people and the strong there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it. So it's not talking about Israel, because after this we're going to be in the kingdom. We're still going to be here. So this is not talking about an actual people. It's talking about missiles. And they're going to be in formation like an army marching in the heavens. And so neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Because the missiles were created for one reason and one reason only, is to destroy this man's system. A fire devour before them, and behind them a flame burneth. Right, the fire devouring before them is talking about the multiple warheads, and the flame behind them is the delivery system, which is a rocket. The land is as a Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. So once these missiles hit anything, any cities of technology, any buildings, any civilizations, when those missiles hit, it's going to turn that place to a wilderness, a wasteland, a desert. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses. Now that was just said in Revelation 9 chapter. And as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains, shall they leap. And what does it mean by leaping? That these missiles are going to go from one continent to another continent. ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missiles. So what does that mean? Intercontinental ballistic missiles. It means that you're going to have a missile from one continent, one part of the earth, leap to another part of the earth. Because these missiles are not going to be doing any maneuvers. It's going to hit, it's going to go right to the target. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoured the stubble, as a strong people, the strong people are the missiles set in battle array. Before their face, the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness. And I believe that word is soot. Let me look that up. Let me look that up. It says glow, heat, meaning dubious. Seventh verse. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Yeah, because each missile has a coordinates to hit. Okay, this one is going to hit New York City. This one's going to hit San Francisco. This is going to hit Chicago. This is going to hit Florida. This is going to hit this place. This is going to hit that place. This is going to hit Louisville, Kentucky. This is going to hit New Orleans. 7 verse again. They shall run like mighty men. They shall, talking about the missiles, they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Because they're going to be guided. They're guided missiles. Neither shall one thrust the other. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Now, what is that talking about? You have a defense system to try to knock out these missiles, but it's not going to stop those missiles. Those missiles going to keep coming. Like John heard in the vision, he said the number was 200 million. So you don't have a missile defense system big enough to stop 200 million missiles. It said they shall run to and fro in the city, and that city represents America, Babylon the Great. And they shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. So what does that mean? They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. It's going to come a day when they least expect it. That's in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, the 10th verse on down. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, because those missiles are going to cover the sky. And the stars shall withdraw their shining. Everything's going to go black, and then you're going to see fire, and then you're going to see the spiritual realm. You're going to go right before the Father. And the Lord Yahweh shall utter his voice before his army, which are the missiles, for his camp is great. Oh, and it tells you in, what is that, either Ezekiel 38 or Ezekiel 39, it tells you that he's going to be in the fire. He's going to be there. It tells you in Hebrews that he's a consuming fire. So he's going to guide these missiles. As Jack Van Impe would say, oh, it's going to be a terrible day when the Lord comes back. You know, he just died. Now he's in the spiritual realm. Now he knows he's the Edomite. Now he knows that we're the Israelites. 11th verse. And I may stop on this one. It says, and the Lord Yahweh shall utter his voice before his army, which are the missiles, for his camp is very great. For he is strong that executeth his word. Because this is the Most High's word. This is his purpose, pursuant to Isaiah the 14th chapter. For the day of Yahweh is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? That's why we got to be out of here. Let me read the 12th verse. Joel 2 verse 12. Therefore also know, saith Yahweh, turn ye even to me. Because what did it say in the very first verse? Blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. Be afraid, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. So what are we supposed to be? What manner of person are you to be in all holy conversations? Therefore, also know, and you guys that part of Israel that went back into the world, you're gonna eat a warhead, man. You're gonna eat a warhead, a hot, fiery warhead. Therefore also know, now saith the Lord Yahweh, turn ye even to me with all your heart. This is your first priority, man. And with fasting and with weeping and with mourning. Now the fasting is something that you do on your own. Don't tell me that, don't do a video right now, I'm fasting. Now you'd be a damn hypocrite. With fasting and with weeping and with mourning. And rend your heart and not your garment, and humble yourself. And when you come into this thing, you get on a certain level. You might have put in 5 years in, and you're doing so much more than you did the first week that you came in, or the first month that you came in, or the first 6 months that you came in. But then you got a lot of people that get big-headed, man. Nah, this is not the time to get big-headed, man. This is the time to humble yourself. That's why we here at Great Millstone, what are we known for? We go out on the highways and the byways, and we do the sit-downs. Then we keep the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say Shalom. This whole chapter is good. It's a good chapter. Joel, there's a lot of information. Which Joel just links up with Isaiah, and Isaiah links up with Jeremiah, and Jeremiah links up with Obadiah, and Obadiah links up with the other prophets, and John the Revelator, which is the apostle, links up with all of them, man. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom, and it's on to the next one. Shalom.